It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. Let's learn. Let's learn.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to Not Your Journey to Take, Early Morning Sip and Chat. My name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am the author of Not Your Journey to Take, and I teach women that no is the complete sentence. I show them how to set healthy boundaries with family and friends while putting their needs first. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, and thank you for joining me for Not Your Journey to Take, Early Morning Sip and Chat. Hopefully you're having your coffee, your tea, or your water first thing this morning. So I will go ahead and get started. So we have had a couple of tasks since the new year has kicked in. So I will recap. So week 1, as we're setting goals for the new year, I tasked you with setting a couple boundaries. You don't have to do a whole lot, because if that's not what you've done, that's not what you do, you haven't had boundaries in the past, you may not be comfortable with it. But the only way to do it is to what? Get started, right? So as we get started with setting these boundaries, just use a couple of your goals. We probably got a list of goals. You probably got a list of maybe 10 goals or maybe 5 goals. If you got 5 goals, set one of those goals as a boundary. You got 10 goals, set 2 of those as boundaries. So that's what we did in week 1. In week 2, I tasked you with testing out those boundaries. You didn't have to test them out with everybody. Just test them out here and there and see how it made you feel when you tested out those boundaries. How did it make you feel? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel like, I'm not sure if I can do this? Did the person who you were setting the boundary with make you feel like you were doing something wrong? How did that week go? So that was last week. So it was a reason for doing it the way we did. So we set them first. We tested them. Now let me share with you why you were feeling uncomfortable in some of those boundaries. One of the main reasons why we don't set boundaries, we don't implement boundaries, we don't enforce them, right? And that we hardly even talk about them, is fear. It's fear. So this week, we're talking about fear. The fear of setting and implementing boundaries. So let me share with you the top 5 reasons that we fear. 1, you fear how someone will feel when you tell them no. 2, you fear the retaliation that you may receive when you tell them no. 3, you fear that they won't respect your boundaries. 4, you have a fear of putting yourself first. And 5, which is my favorite, right? It's not cool, but it is my favorite. It's ultimately the fear of the unknown. How is somebody going to respond to you? How are you going to respond back? How is it going to be after you say no in the next day or two? Like, how is that going to work? That unknown, that's a terrible boy. That's a bad boy right there. Because you don't know. Once I say no, we have our interaction. How are things going to be as it goes forward? How are we going to be cool? Are we not? Are you going to feel some type of way? Or are we going to be cool? Like, you don't know. And that becomes bothersome. So let's talk about each one of them. So, fearing how someone feels if you say no. Now, if you're saying no to someone, you're saying yes to something about yourself. Why do I say that? If you have the capacity to help, to share, to do, to give, you wouldn't have to say no. You wouldn't have to. Because you would have the capacity to fulfill whatever is required or asked of you. By you saying no, you're basically saying, I need to take care of me. I have something going on. I have a meeting. I have a meeting with myself. I have a sit down to just try to regroup and figure out what I want to do. And just because you're asking something of me during that time, my answer to you is no. So you're saying no to someone else, but you're saying yes to yourself. So you're worried about how they will feel because you say no. They'll be okay. They may not like it at first, but absolutely they'll be okay. 2, the retaliation. Fearful that if I tell you no, then you'll come back and tell me no. Or if I tell you no, then you'll come back and you will say something else that might be, hurtful. Or I'm thinking that you may not show up for me when I need you. The retaliation. So it's almost like we're going tit for tat. I tell you no, you tell me no. I tell you yes, you tell me yes. Don't worry about the retaliation. Because if it is a form of retaliation, it won't last long. Because they will begin to respect your no. And that's how we get into number 3. Fearful that they won't respect your no. Give you an example of that. You're asking me to take you to the store. And I said, no, I can't do it. And then you tell me, oh, no, I just need you to take me to the store. I just need you to take me to the store. The store's around the corner. And you're like, no, I can't do it. The response from whomever you're talking to is saying, what you mean you can't do it? All you have to do is come and get me and take me to the store. The store right up the street from my house. So if you just come and get me, we can go ahead and do that. I mean, it ain't going to take you long. All you got to do is, right? That's their response to you. So that's them not respecting your boundaries because now they're giving you alternatives to your no. No one should have to give you an alternative to your no. If your no is no, then that's just what it is. And that's okay. It's absolutely okay. They're negotiating your no. So that's not respecting your boundaries. It's not respecting your no. Because now they're negotiating with you on your behalf on how you can show up for them after you've already said no. And then you have an entire conversation about, no, I'm not going to. They're telling you that you can because all you got to do is, and you're saying, no, I'm not going to. So it's a whole conversation on how they're not respecting your boundaries. Number 4, putting yourself first. Putting yourself first. You already have plans, whatever that may be. Whatever that may be. Your plans could be to do absolutely nothing. Because that's what you want to do, is nothing. And that's okay. But those are your plans for yourself. Because you are taking care of you, then the answer is no to everybody else for that particular situation or at that particular time. And last but not least, the unknown. Once you get past that initial no in that conversation, you don't know how that relationship is going to be with that person afterwards because you've always said yes. You've always shown up. You've always been there. Now you're not sure how things are going to transpire after that conversation. And it's bothersome to you. You're concerned about it. You're worried about it. You're like, how is that going to be? Well, let me just go ahead and show up because I don't know what's going to happen after that. It's okay. Everybody will be okay. Everybody will be okay. If you can set your boundaries, implement your boundaries, they will respect your boundaries. Whoever they may be to you individually, they will respect your boundaries. It just takes time. And I teach you that in my program. It's a 10-week program called Not Your Journey to Take. And I teach you that. It is definitely something that you have to learn to do. It becomes a learned behavior. It becomes a learned behavior. And you have to feel comfortable in that. And a lot of times, if you are the go-to person, you're always showing up. Or even if you're not the go-to person, but you're okay with people asking you whenever they ask, and you're always showing up. Doesn't matter in which capacity you say yes. Doesn't matter where you are in your life and how things are happening for you. But you're always saying yes to whatever it is. You're always saying yes. Even when it doesn't fit you. It doesn't fit your situation. It doesn't fit what you have going on right now. You still say yes. Why? You don't have to. And all things will be okay. All things will be okay. We'll go back to the example that I've been sharing for 2 weeks. Well, this is week 3. When you get on an airplane, whether you've been on a plane, watched a movie, or heard anybody talk about a plane, first thing the flight attendants say when they begin to talk about all the rules on the plane: when the cabin loses air pressure, the mask drops. If you don't know what she says, I'll tell you. Put the mask on your face first. Matter of fact, her word is secure your mask first and then help others. Do you know why that is? I won't even wait for you to answer. Because if you don't secure your mask first, cabin is losing air pressure. You're helping everybody else. Everybody else has on a mask. Cabin losing air pressure. You know what's happening to you? You are losing oxygen. You are losing oxygen. So now you've helped everybody else with their mask on. Their mask on. They're breathing. They're doing what they're supposed to do. And you haven't put on yours. You're losing oxygen. Now what? Now you sitting over there or laying somewhere and they got on their mask. They haven't paid no attention to you. They haven't looked twice at you since you have them put on their mask. So they don't know that you're not over there breathing. They don't know that you've lost oxygen. They don't know. And you can't really tell them because what little oxygen you have, you're using it to breathe. And not to be so drastic on the example, I'm just saying. So in that instance, the cabin loses air pressure, oxygen masks fall. Secure your mask first. Secure your mask first. After you secure your mask first, at least taking a breath, right? Taking a breath. So you're good. Now you can begin to help everybody else. Boom, 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 boom. Put on your mask, put on your mask, put on your mask. You got that. But you know what you did first? Do you know what you did first? I'll give you 2 seconds to think about that answer. And if you're watching me live, put it in the comments. If you're watching the replay, put it in the comments. If you're not comfortable putting it in the comments, DM me. It's all good. But you know what you did first? You took care of you. I'm gonna drink some more tea on that one. You took care of you. That's what you did. You took care of you first, which is a requirement. That is a requirement in life itself, is to take care of yourself first. And that way, when you take care of yourself first and you go to do things for other people, which I've shared with you before, you're doing it out of love and kindness. And it shows up differently. It shows up differently when you do, any kind of act out of love and kindness, as opposed to doing it because you're required, you're obligated. You feel like you got to do it. You're angry about doing it. You're doing it and can't wait to finish. You can't wait to get done with it. People can feel that energy. People can feel that. But if you're doing it out of love and kindness, they can feel that too. So if you've put on your mask and you've taken care of yourself, you're helping everybody else. Boom, boom, boom. Let me get you. Let me get you. Let me help you. Let me help you. Here's your mask. Here's your mask. Here's your mask. Everybody is surviving. Everybody is surviving. But if you take care of them first, only they are surviving. Not you. Only they are surviving. And they don't know that you're barely surviving, that you're barely hanging on, that you have no oxygen, that you're scrambling. They don't know. They don't see it. But if you take care of you first, you don't even have to worry about whether they see it or not. Why? Because you're good. You got your own oxygen. You're already straight. And then you can help all others. So this is week 3. We're learning about those fears. And as we recognize those fears, see how they fit in your life. And then we're going to overcome those fears. We're going to work on overcoming those fears. And we'll talk about that part next week. But this week, we're going to continue to recognize the fears. Continue to recognize, what's happening and why do we feel this way or that way. Why we are not showing up for ourselves first. I'm telling you, it's a game changer when you show up for yourself first and then help others. I am not saying don't help anyone. I am not saying that. Because I still help. I wouldn't tell you to do anything that I don't do. But what I am saying is help yourself first. Take care of you first. Lead by example and all others will follow. All others will follow. So with these fears, we are acknowledging and recognizing that they are there, seeing how they fit in your life and seeing what fear bothers you the most. It could be all 5. It could be just a couple. Either way, those fears are there, and we need to get past those fears so that we can be okay with standing in our truth and taking care of us first, and still helping others where we can. But you have to do what is within your capacity to do. You absolutely have to do what's in your capacity to do. All things may not be within your capacity. Everything may not be, and that's okay, right? But some things are within your control. Some things are within your capacity where you can say, hey, I can show up for you. Yeah, I can do that for you. I don't mind. Let's get it. Tell me what you need. That's absolutely okay. That's a great thing. But you have to do it from a space and a place where you have the capacity to be able to pull from and do it with love and kindness. So today's task, share something that you're doing today just for you. Even if you're just sitting in it for about 15 minutes. That's something for you. And then share with me one of your fears. It may not be one of those 5. It may be another one. But share with me one of your fears of saying no, of putting yourself first, of setting healthy boundaries with family and friends. Share with me in the comments whether you're watching me live. Share in the comments if you're watching a replay, or send me a DM. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. So as we get ready to bring this to a close, I task everyone with starting your day first with becoming one with you and getting yourself together. I task everybody with having a super fantastic day on purpose. On purpose. That means being intentional about everything that you do. So have a super fantastic day on purpose. Again, my name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am the author of Not Your Journey to Take. And in my program, I teach women that no is a complete sentence. I show them how to set healthy boundaries while putting their needs first. Inside of the captions, there is a link so that you can book a strategy session call with me. When you book the call, there's going to be a series of questions. And that way, that'll give us an opportunity to be able to see where you are. So when we talk, we can better have a more informed conversation. So inside the captions, you'll see the link where you can book a strategy session call with me. And we can talk about it and see if the program is something that you're interested in. So again, Not Your Journey to Take coaching program. The link is inside of the caption. Okay? And just a reminder as to what I do. I teach women that no is a complete sentence. I show them how to set healthy boundaries with family and friends while putting their needs first. I hope you have a super fantastic day on purpose. I want to thank you for joining me live. I want to thank you for watching the replay. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching the latest Not Your Journey to Take video. I hope that each of you will be having a super fantastic day, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share.